It is Friday, 1 week to the day that I put in my notice of separation. I can't even tell you the amount of stress and like worry and doubt that I was going through that entire month. Like, this entire month has probably been the most nerve-wracking month of me just trying to get everything together, um, plan finances just a bit, because in all honesty, I'm still in a place where I'm not paying that many bills, and I can very much leave my job and still be afloat for the amount of time that I need. So that was one of the factors. But yeah, I'm officially done at the job, the first job that I got after college, which had nothing to do with my degree, but it was the job that hired me and that paid for my bills and helped me get my car. So yeah, how did I even get to this point? What happened? And I know it sounds crazy to hear that I quit my job in this environment, in this economy, because where, you know, and it's not like I quit without a plan. I am a licensed real estate agent at this point, so I do have a profession that I'm working at right now, but it is a lot less stable financially, or unpredictable, because when you're working hourly, you know, if you work X amount of hours for X amount of dollars per hour, you're gonna make this much per pay period. It's very like consistent. It is what it is, face value. Versus real estate is not that at all. So that was, I think, the biggest factor. Because to be very honest with you, I had my notice of separation written out in December of last year. Like, no, October of 2023. I had first drafted that resignation letter, and that was literally like the plan. That was the plan. By the start of the year, I would leave and do like real estate and have another job by then. But that didn't happen. So, as well as a lot of promises that were made to me, um, in regards to the positions that I would hold at that specific job, um, did not happen. And I came to a breaking point when there was a switch in management at this job that will now be my former job. There's a change in management and admin. That's just the way it is. You're just getting used to everything changing, which I had no issue with. If anything, I found it as like a good opportunity for me to actually be able to level up in the way that I wanted. I expressed my desire to be able to move up to various positions within the company, and my views stayed the same. The first management I had hired me. They were the ones that hired me, and I was very straightforward with the fact that I didn't want to be hired as the entry level position. I wanted to be hired as the supervisor position per my degree and work experience, but that just didn't end up happening. So I just settled for the entry level position at that job because, again, I needed the money, and at that point it was like late July, early August that I was having these conversations, and it had already been what, you graduate in 3 months out of graduation, out of college without a job. So I was like, well, nobody else is calling me back, so I'm just gonna take the job because I need the money. And I expressed my desires to still work my way up to said position, the next round of applications that would come in, and I followed through. I applied to become the supervisor at that um, branch. Went through the process, did the interviews, talked to the people, whatever, and all went through the same process. But internally, there was a relationship there that definitely made it seem as though this particular person was going to get the job even before the interview started. So that was a little sour. That left a sour taste in my mouth. But, it is what it is. We were going into winter, and winter comes around, it gets colder, business gets slower. I'm working this job and I'm working two others just to be able to pay my insurance and my car note, which to this day I'm pretty sure is still the only things that I'm paying for real, including a phone bill, which again makes this transition a bit less painful and jarring. There's no other opportunities anywhere else for me to move up that is practical for me where I live. And then before I knew it, my previous manager was getting a brand new store and transitioning out, and then a new manager was transitioning in. So a lot of the conversations that I had and a lot of the interest that I expressed in moving up was put to the wayside again because of the fact that we were just in a transitional period. Slide because we're literally all adapting to a lot of changes and finding out that there's a lot of things that were put in place that weren't really like requirements or standards, and having to relearn how to do our jobs all over again, which is insane. And in the process, of course, new people were leaving, new people were coming in. So there's a lot going on. I would say in March, because that all happened like the beginning of the year, so around March, I brought it up to my new manager again. I want to move up in position, and funny enough, it wasn't even the supervisor position that I was telling him about, even though I did express that. It was the position below it, which was a trainer, like just to be able to train people at the job that I was currently in. Because as far as he was concerned, we were all poorly trained. We didn't know anything about anything. So he had no interest in moving any of us up until we were at the level that he wanted us to be at. So, like, what are you going to do after that? So I expressed that interest to move up to that sub level before becoming supervisor in March. And then month passes, nothing happens. April passes, nothing happens. No other conversations, no other, like, this is what you need to do in order to get to this position. This is what I'm expecting. This is what this is what I need to know, and then we can move you forward and do the modules and get you into that position. Nothing. Right. And as I'm getting, like, no response back from him, a lot of the people that just so happened to be hired by him later on, like way after me, as he was transitioning in, they were the ones being promoted to said position, not me. And at that point, I'd been there for a year and a half, and I don't even want to say that it has anything to do with entitlement, because I've already proven my abilities to people who have been there with me since day one, who have believed in me since day one and wanted me, to go up. So that wasn't really the question, and he was also aware of that. But I don't know. I don't know why I was being overlooked again. I took the critiques, I took the training, the coaching advice, I tightened up my skills, and still nothing. So in May, the beginning of this month we're in right now, I came up to him and I was like, back in March, I expressed wanting to move up to this position, and I have heard nothing from you. Absolutely nothing. And he's like, okay, the next time we see each other in the office, we can talk. we talk, and he essentially tells me that, yeah, you're not. It's not. You're not it. You still need to prove yourself and your skills, and then maybe so. Which this conversation definitely should have been had back in March when I first expressed that. So by this point, I would have already been where he wanted me to be in order to be in that position. But that never happened. So for 2 months, you've been playing in my face, saying that, well, saying that we would connect and we would get to a point of understanding to where I could get myself to that point, and then nothing happened. Funny enough, the people that you promoted to that very position that had started when you came in are asking me what they're supposed to do. But I thought I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? So how do I have all this knowledge when they're asking me what they need to do and venting to me about their griefs in the position, but I'm not ready. So it was just a little, it was odd, and I don't like being played in my face. Like, I really don't like that at all. And for me, this was a test to see if he really took me seriously. And if this management would be any different from the past management that also, just played in my face and didn't take anything I said seriously. And unfortunately, they were one and the same in various ways. So the week that I put in my 2 weeks, the start of that week, so I put in my 2 weeks that Friday, that Monday or Tuesday or whatever. I put a request to change my availability because I wanted to go full throttle into real estate, put in as many hours as I possibly can, because the only way that you could ever be successful in real estate is if you put in like massive amounts of hours into the profession, into your business. And I didn't think that it was necessary for me to leave at this point, at least, the job, because it was summer and they would need people to work the floor during the busiest time of the year. I would benefit from it. The store would benefit from having an extra partner on the floor. Like, it just didn't make sense for me to just leave quick cold turkey at that point. I could just shrink my hours to a specific, take the amount of hours that I was already working and just shrink it into less days, and then for the rest of the week I'd be able to do my real estate stuff. So I'm still being of use and still getting paid at this job while still being able to focus more time into my profession so I can transition out more gracefully. That conversation also fell flat. I can't do that. That's unrealistic. I won't be able to do that. I can't make promises. If you do that, then I'm gonna have to bring somebody else in, and then when it comes winter time and there's no business, you're gonna complain that you don't have hours, blah blah blah. What else did you say? Oh, but in the same breath, he said that there were two extra people transferring in from other stores that didn't need training, by the way. They would be able to work in the mornings, they'd be able to work at night. So, but in the same breath, they're coming in, taking in those hours that I would be giving up willingly. But you can't fix my schedule. Like, you can't. Mind you, there's multiple people that are doing the same exact thing, or at least one other that I know for a fact is doing the same exact thing as I am asking to do, which would also cut my hours. But again, like, that's not the problem here. Like, that's not the issue. It's just having a more flexible schedule, which this company actually promotes, that they have flexible scheduling and competitive pay and all that other stuff like that. Like, this is what they literally promote for people who are trying to work there, to keep that in mind. And I just remembered that, like, like, you're just telling me no at every corner. Again, playing in my face, because there are other partners who did this, that had this schedule during the winter, and we're transitioning to summer, and now they're going to have open availability. So you're going to have people who are able to fill in my hours that are going to be missing, but you're playing in my face saying that there's nothing you can do for me. It's a little odd, and I was sick of it. And I had been doing a lot of prayer, a lot of Bible study, a lot of one-on-ones with God, a lot of journaling, a lot of self-reflection, and literally every single thing that I was shown and revealed happened in real life. And I was like, I can't take these signs for granted. I gotta go. Like, I can't allow these people to play in my face and continue to put confidence in man when I should really have just been putting confidence in God and in my abilities this entire time. So I don't want to be taken for granted anymore. And I understand, like, I won't be getting that consistent income anymore. But if it means that I'm going to be able to put more time to where I can make 2, 3, like 10 times more in the future, then so be it. That's not really a loss for me in the grand scheme of things. I left work, I got my letter, came back, handed it to him in the parking lot. And that was really it. So right now I've just been building up the schedule that I will be doing indefinitely unless I get another job down the line with my real estate. And yeah, and it's just it just boggled my mind because I wasn't one of those partners that didn't appreciate their position. If they needed me to come in early, I came in early. If they needed me to stay late, I stayed late. If they needed me to leave and then come back and do a double shift in one day, I did those. If you needed me to close at 9:30 and then open again at 5 a.m., I've done that. I've come in when I've been sick. I've come in when I've been like fucking ill and I can't like function properly, but it didn't matter. I still put in the work because it's not. I like the money. I'd be making more money doing that, but it was also because I cared. But when it comes to any of my interests in anything that I want, it's not. You can't do that. But I've been giving more than what you deserve. That's that. I have another house to go to, and I hope I'm not talking too long. It's only been 20 minutes. Last time I checked, it was like 10:40-ish, so I can leave now. But yeah, I'm doing real estate stuff now, full time. Oh yeah, and more news. So there's a wedding coming up. I'm probably moving soon. Who knows? There's just a lot going on, and that everything is just it's a lot, and I've been processing a lot of things all at once. But I know everything's gonna be fine. I know everything's gonna be fine. God is too good to let me just fall flat on my face. That's not gonna happen. I trust, I hope, I have faith. I know I'm more than capable. So this is not an end of anything. This is just the beginning. And I think that's all for the updates. My next videos are going to be of me doing real estate related things, activities, and I hope you enjoy them. I also plan on filming more on not just YouTube, but like short form, shorts, reels, stuff like that. And yeah, follow my socials, they'll be in the description box. Please like and subscribe to follow my journey, my little diary that I'm sharing with the world. So if you get anything out of it, please let me know in the comments.